What's good, Yon Dons? Welcome to episode 27. Listen, Yon Dons, I hope that you're having a great day today. My day is going fantastic so far. I've been doing a lot of book reading. I've been doing a lot of videoing. I've been watching a lot and doing a lot of research in order to get this business booming. So I feel excellent. Like, we are making very good headway. Announcements are gonna be made in probably a few weeks from now, but just know that there is a lot to come. So what we are going to talk about today is leveling up. And so what leveling up means is that you are promoting yourself. You are upgrading your way of life and your way of living. You are foundationally building yourself from house to mansion. You're restoring everything that is going on in your life. You are letting the things go that you need to let go of in order for you to get into the new way of life and the way that God wants you to live. So flashback in my life. I was dating this girl, same situation that I always talk about. The girl that I dated back in high school, dated for 2.5 years, and we broke up. That night that we had broke up, I got on my hands and knees and I prayed to God, and I said, God, you know, before this time, I really didn't do this. Like, I don't even remember the last time I did it before then. I don't think I really ever devoted my life or prayed or anything. I just held the title as being a Christian, and now I have the spiritual relationship of being in love with what God is and who God is and what He is in my life. So, anyways, that night, everything changed because I got on my hands and my knees and I prayed to God, and I said, God, you know, I come before you, and I want to apologize for being able to, or I wanted to apologize. In this time, I was apologizing for not being there when I should have been, and I was apologizing for only giving him what I had left, and because I gave her everything. That was the first time I really gave my heart to somebody, and they took it and, you know, ran off with it. So all I had was the little piece that I gave back to God. And so anyways, that heartbreak and that heartache that happened in my life at that time ended up being a snowball effect. After that moment, after that loss, it was loss after loss after that. And then it was also finding myself with every time something bad happened. It was lining my steps. It was aligning my steps to where I was able to catch the dreams that God wanted me to catch. I was able to meet the people that God wanted me to meet. I was in the midst of every situation understanding that there is going to be a better tomorrow. So with that, it was the analogy that I actually saw earlier today. This man had said, you look at a pencil, and a pencil isn't good until it goes through the chiseling, the sharpening, and the making it into a pencil, basically. And so it was like you have to shave it down a certain way. Now picture if a pencil had emotions, if it had feeling, that would hurt. For somebody to shave you down to make you go through the process of being sharpened. So basically the analogy was saying that the pain that the pencil would go through is kind of like life as far as what we go through. We go through the sharpening phase. We go through this phase of chiseling ourselves. We go through this phase and this process of we started off as this and now we are this. And so what life will do is it'll make you go through something in order for you to grow through something. It'll make you start out as one thing in order for you to upgrade into another. It's kind of like how we look at life as far as our first car. Unless you're rich, bougie, or spoiled, you had a lemon. And so when you had a lemon, for those of you that know what that is, you started off with that bad car. And through hard work ethic and saving your money, you were able to get something better. And so it's like that same system of you have to build yourself up in order to level up. And so through leveling up, you have to go through the process of being shaved, being sharpened, and being ready and prepared for the next things that God has for you in life. And so one of the first things that you're going to go through when it comes to leveling up is figuring out what kind of things that you need to let go of. When it comes to life, we have things that we want to hold on to, but there's things that we need to let go of. And that may be a person, that may be a place, and that may be a thing. And we love to limit ourselves based off of what we're comfortable with or who we're comfortable with. And it's like we want this relationship with this one person when God is trying to give us the perfect husband or wife based off of who we are as people. Or we want to live in this certain area because that's where we were born and raised. When opportunity strikes, it's in another state or another city where we have to move in order to overcome our fears and be where we need to be at. Or we think about our financial issues or our financial situations where if we want a house, we have to save up for it. Or when we want something, we have to save up for it. Or we have to take that risk of buying it and preparing ourselves for the decisions that we make. Where you are uncomfortable is where you are going to change. And where you decide to change is where you are going to start growing. And so when it comes to that feeling uncomfortable, feeling that unease, or feeling like you don't know what's about to happen, feeling that sense of fear, on the other side of fear is beauty. On the other side of fear is overcoming it. You know, it's like if you were scared of skydiving, you wouldn't be able to see the world's beauty in such a way unless you jumped out of that plane and saw it and embraced it. You have to overcome fear in order to see the beauty of it, to see the beauty behind what you're fearful of. And so once you're able to understand that being uncomfortable is where you need to be at, being uncomfortable is where change starts, that's when you're able to embrace the change, embrace growing, and embrace upgrading. And that way you'll start leveling up. We want to see being uncomfortable as a problem or a bad thing. Being uncomfortable is just like working out. When it comes to working out, you have to, like, I practice form a lot. I get a lot of form, like, tips and advice from people that have way more seasoned than I am, been doing like lifting for decades. And every time they teach me something, it's so uncomfortable. I'm like, yo, you want me to like pause but arch my back while I'm benching? Or you want me to squat with my feet straight and then point my knees out and make sure that my butt is kicked out? Because what we say is big chest, big butt in order for you to come down a certain way. And I'm like, yo, this feels awkward or this feels weird. But through that uncomfort and discomfort, that's when I'm able to find my best form or feel more comfortable once I'm used to it and I'm able to put on more weight. And even in the sense of breaking down muscle, that sense of being sore is a sense of when you are tearing the muscles. When you're sore, you are literally breaking the muscles down and they recover and come back stronger. But through that is discomfort, it's pain, it's agony, it's having to get up. When you have legs and you gotta poop and you gotta sit there and hold on to the shower, and you gotta hold on to the tub or hold on to the counter so that way you get down nice and slow. And then when you get back up, you gotta get up real slow. Or when you get out the car, that hurts. Like I had legs Sunday and I'm still hurting. Like I had to get up, I had to do the old man thing where I'm like, ugh, in order to get out of my car. And then somebody was right there. I said leg day. He said, I understand. Let's say you are overweight or out of shape and you want to get into shape. Well, you have to make sacrifices in order to get to the point that you want to get to. So that love for food, that love for sugar, that love for the wrong things that you have in your life are like love handles, right? Ooh, love handles are just the things that you love that you're holding on to. Ooh. Ooh. Wait, is that even why they call them love handles? That's why I'm going to call them love handles. Anyways, picture your love handles are the foods that you don't want or the foods that you don't need but you want. The things that you love to hold on to, but you don't need to be holding on to them. Because you want to be a certain way and look a certain way and act a certain way and be fit and present yourself like you are fit, but yet you're holding on to the things that you think you love and you think that you want, but you don't need. In order to do that, you have to trim the fat and you have to sacrifice the things that you want for the things that you need. Sacrifice the things that you want for the work that you need to put in order to upgrade and be the certain person that you need to be and want the certain things that you want. With letting go, you're allowing yourself room. You're allowing God room to work in your life. When it comes to a hoarder A hoarder has no space in their room. They have no space in their environment. And so when you have no space, you're not giving yourself room to grow. You know, if let's say you wanted to make a drink, right? If your cup is full, you can't pour anything else in it. The only way you can allow access to want more, you have to pour out. Or in order to, like I said, in order to be a certain way, and once you trim the fat and let those things go, you're able to craft your body now. Like the way I always talk to people, as far as, let's say I talk to somebody that's obese before they want to get in shape, I tell them that they have to trim the fat in order for them to see the results. And like I tell them, everybody has abs underneath their stomach and underneath their fat. All they need to do is trim it, and they'll look that way. So when it comes to being fat, from fat to fit, you have to sculpt your body a certain way. And so what you do when you allow space and you give yourself space and room to grow and room to become what you want to be, you're allowing your body, you're allowing your mentality, you're allowing your spirit, and the way that you walk and the way that you talk and the way that you act, you're allowing yourself that opportunity of chiseling who you are as a person now. You're able to be a certain way and act a certain way because now you've created space. You've given God room to make something out of you. So like I was talking to my pastor when I was going through everything as far as with my ex at the time in high school. He had said what she was doing was permitting the relationship that you have now with God. What she was doing was limiting you from what you could have had. So picture if we would have stayed together. I probably would have had a kid by now. Or I definitely wouldn't have worked out. Because that's what fueled me. Because when we broke up, the first thing I literally said, September 2nd of 2017, I said she is never going to date somebody better looking than me. And that was my motivation literally for years to come. And so I would have never gotten to the gym. I would have never got a relationship with God. I would have never went to Bible school. I would have never met the friends that I have. I would have never started this. I would have never did. I would like it's not even maybe. I would have never been the person that I am now if God did not take the things out of my life that needed to be taken out. If I didn't allow him access to let go of those things in my life, I wouldn't have allowed him access to let me grow. If I didn't give him that time to make me let go, I wouldn't have the time to have grown. I needed that time. I needed that space. I needed that time to get away from everything, and I needed that room so that way I have access and allowed the capability to grow. You know, the way I always see it is people that you hold closest to you, they can either hurt you or help you. They can either make it to where you have more room or they can limit you. See, the way I was looking at it was I was capping myself off based off of the people that I had in my life, or I cap myself off whenever I'm comfortable. So whenever I do that, I can't allow any more in me. Like if I'm a water bottle, right, and I put the lid on, I'm not allowing God to pour anything into me. Versus if I were to take the cap off, then I would be able to let my cup run over. And in that return of pouring out into other people, letting my cup run over will make it to where I will never be empty. I will always be overflowing. I will always have provision for those around me that need help. I will always have that access and that capability to be able to be the best version of myself because now I've given God the opportunity to pour into me. Now I've given life the opportunity to give me lessons whenever something happens. I now have the opportunity to make my pain into pleasure. I'm able to make any agony into growth. I'm able to make my past into something that is now praise. I'm able to gain access and fortitude into making that foundation for a better future in my life because I was able to let go in order to level up. So understand that those painful situations in order to level up means that sometimes you may have to let go. It may mean that you have to make a painful decision. You may have to supplement the things that you want for the things that you need in order to have a better life later on. Pain is not an easy thing. Pain will lead to a better outcome. Like E.T. once said, pain is temporary. It may last for a minute, or an hour, or a day, or even a year. But if I quit, however, that will last forever. So when it comes to letting go to level up, your pain is only a substitution for what you're going through right now. Your pain is limited to the time that you allow it to hurt you. And once you let that pain go and you're allowing God to make you grow, that's when the better things in life will happen. Because at the end of the day, the people that you have in your life, you either have them because they are choosing to fuel you and level you up and help you grow, or they're here based off of the history that you all have. And so it is your choice to either let go of people that aren't making you a better person or keep them there because of the history that you have. Me personally, I got asked this question earlier today. They said, let's say one of your exes were to come back into your life, would you give them another chance? And I told them that in order for me to give them another chance, they would have to show me that they're worth that chance. And then, they said like, well, they were this person for you, or they didn't hurt you, you hurt them, or anything for that matter. They gave me reasons as to why they deserve that second chance. And I told them, they don't deserve my future if they don't show me reason to be in it. And that doesn't negate what we had in the past, but that shows that the past is nothing more than the past. I can't do anything about my past, but I can do something about my future. And so if people are limiting me based off of the history that we have, or if they're limiting me just because they were here before, that slot isn't there anymore. God has made that room that I had to grow. And that room that they had, that seat at the table that they had, is now either occupied by somebody else or occupied by my mental fortitude and myself. So now I'm putting myself first when it comes to leveling up. And so now when it comes to people that try to come in the past, or people that were from the past that want to be in my future, I tell them, they need to show worth in my life to where my quality of life will be better because of these people. They won't limit me anymore because now I'm limitless. So ask yourself, what are the things that God has for me, waiting for me to grab onto? But first I have to let go of the things that are holding up that space. So get out your comfort zone. Be sure to let go of the things that you need to let go of. Trim the fat in your life. Do not hold on to the love handles. Be sure to address everything that you're going on, or that's going on in life, so that way you can let go of the things that you need to sacrifice and make room for the things that God has in store for you. And be sure to let go and let God. Have faith that there is a better tomorrow. And in order to do that, you need to make sure that the pain that you're going through right now, understand that it is temporary and the best is yet to come. I love you, Yon Dons. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, turn on post notifications so you know every single time I post. And be sure to let everybody know what we're doing here at the Yon Show. Peace!